Things have gotten super interesting in the state of Utah. There's a new poll that was released yesterday by Emerson College, which shows that not Donald Trump, not Hillary Clinton, not Libertarian Gary Johnson, but rather independent Mormon candidate Evan McMullin is leading in Utah for the presidential race. The survey shows that McMullin is at 31% support, Trump 27, Clinton 24 in the state of Utah. Now, the margin of error on this poll was 3.6% according to the methodology, and it also is just one poll. In an average of Utah polls, McMullin is not in the lead. It is still Donald Trump in the lead. So we're just talking about one state. We're just talking about one poll. But the major Republican candidate not having Utah as a complete and total foregone conclusion of a gimme is major, major news. The last time that a Republican lost Utah was 1964. When Lyndon B. Johnson defeated Barry Goldwater. The last independent candidate to win electoral votes was segregationist George Wallace, in 1968. So I don't agree with voting for Evan McMullin. Evan McMullin does not represent my views, but I have to hand it to the Mormon community. They are really putting the evangelical Christians to shame, as I discussed on the Monday bonus show earlier this week. There's this situation when we look at different Christian groups where evangelical support for Donald Trump basically peaked in July at about 78%. And it has declined somewhat since, where right now about 2/3 of white evangelicals say that they are still supporting Donald Trump. And by the way, that's after the video was released of him saying that using his celebrity status to just grab women in the pussy is something that he thinks is okay and you just sometimes got to do. 2/3 of evangelical Christian voters, white evangelical Christian voters, still are supporting Donald Trump. There is nothing Christian about Donald Trump's candidacy at all. We've seen the magazine funded by Billy Graham say that it's absolutely absurd to think that any Christians would support Donald Trump. But regardless, the evangelical Christians are by and large still supporting Trump. However, we have a survey from this last week among Utah Mormons, and only 38% say that they are supporting Donald Trump, a higher percentage saying that they have an unfavorable view of Donald Trump, even more unfavorable than that of Hillary Clinton, who has her fair share of unfavorability herself. So this is so fascinating in so many ways. Utah Mormons, by and large, vote red, and it is fascinating that they are just running away from Donald Trump to the point at which we can say Utah is not a gimme for the Republican nominee, and that should be without question in any normal election. In the end, Trump's probably going to win Utah, but it is going to be way, way closer than it has been in a very long time. Part of that just because the vote is being significantly split 3 or even 4 ways, because Gary Johnson actually is quite popular in Utah. But a lot of this because Mormons are saying, I don't see why I would vote Trump. He does not represent my values, and that's absolutely true.